All right, I'm gonna do a quick rundown of our restaurant week pairing. We have 4 meads and ciders with 4 Mindo chocolate squares. So the first pairing in this tasting is our standard mead. It's made with honey, yeast, and water. Nothing else. It's really light, carbonated. Of all of our meads, it has the most honey flavor because there's no other fruit added to it or no other flavors added to it. Just really light and really refreshing. We've paired that with Mindo's 67% chocolate. You can see this is a really smooth back to it, pretty finely ground, and it's a really clean chocolate as well. These pair really nicely together in that they both have just kind of a really clean, crisp flavor to them. The next in our pairing is our cider, which is right here, half mead, half cider. So also really light. The fruit added to it is a little bit of apple, which gives it a little bit of acidity and a tiny bit more sweetness than the standard. Still very light. We've paired that with Mindo's Michigan blueberry chocolate. You can see there are some whole dried blueberries in the back. The fruit in the two really complements each other, so you have a little bit of acidity from the apple in the cider, but it's not overwhelming. And then again, in this 67 Michigan blueberry, mostly what you're tasting is the chocolate and a little bit of sweetness since it's a 67%, but some of that fruit too from the blueberries. Third is the pear ginger cider down here in the corner. That's cider and perry together. So part of your fermentable sugars are coming from pears, part of them are coming from apples. We fermented the juice from both fruits together. And then we add in Michigan grown ginger. That one has a little bit more funk and acidity to it, and also a little bit more sweetness than the other two. We've paired that with Mindo's rustic vanilla chocolate. You can really see here some of the vanilla coming through and also the rustic grind. So this one doesn't spend as long in their stone grinder. So it has a little bit more grit and texture to it, which is really nice. The vanilla in here complements beautifully the pear and the ginger in the pear ginger cider. So those really complement each other well. And then the last one we've paired like with like. We have our blackcurrant goza. That has black currants in it, which are just a little bit sweet, really savory, tart berry. We get those from Coonsberry Farm in Michigan, and then it goes on top of that, so there's a little bit of salt added, Michigan salt, to pull out that savoriness from the berries, and we've paired that with their 67% sea salt chocolate. So you can see there that there's some big flakes of salt on the back. So in that pairing, we're pairing like with like. The salt from the goza and the salt from the sea salt chocolate really tie in nicely together. So those are your 4, and that's recommended tasting order. So standard with 67%, cider with Michigan blueberry, pear ginger cider with the vanilla rustic chocolate, and blackcurrant goza with the sea salt chocolate. Enjoy.